वेलकम बैक टू इनसाइड टुनाइट विद अशोक व्यास। और अब हम बात जो कर रहे थे नएपन की, उसको लेकर बढ़ते हैं भारतीय राजनीति की तरफ। और भारतीय राजनीति की तरफ बढ़ते हुए खास करके आज हम कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी पर थोड़ी सी नज़र डालेंगे। और उसमें हमारा साथ देने के लिए हैं शुद्ध प्रकाश सिंह जी, जो INOC के प्रेसिडेंट हैं, और आप पहले मिले हैं राकेश बिसारिया जी, आम आदमी पार्टी के वॉलंटियर हैं, और टोपी लगाने से उनकी शान बढ़ती है ऐसा मुझे लगता है। खास करके आज की खबरों की तरफ जाएं तो राहुल गांधी ने ये कहा कि कांग्रेस को बदलने की ज़रूरत है, और उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि वो बहुत जल्दी बदलाव लाएंगे, बदलाव की तरफ जल्दी बढ़ेंगे। और बदलाव के विशेष चरणों में उन्होंने एक बिंदु ये जोड़ा कि जो चयन प्रक्रिया है उम्मीदवारों की, उसको बदला जाएगा, आम आदमी को लाया जाएगा। और आम आदमी के बारे में, आम आदमी पार्टी के बारे में ये कहा जाता रहा है कि वो तो दिनों दिन बदल रही है, और उसका जो इस तरह से बदलाव है उससे उसकी प्रामाणिकता पर, उसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी पर क्वेश्चन मार्क्स लग रहे हैं। नएपन की बात को लेते हुए पहले मैं शुद्ध जी के पास जाता हूं। क्या आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस में कुछ नयापन आ रहा है, जरूरी है आना?
He's been trying not just now for a few years to bring in changes. Jैसे he wants a true democracy within the party. I think the root cause of Indian political system is that we don't have democracy within the parties. And he's working towards that. See, the problem कहाँ शुरू होती है कि टिकट लेना है जी, वो तो टिकट लेने में वो 4-5 लोग सेंटर में बैठ के सभी पार्टियों के डिसाइड करते हैं अब तक। He wants to change that. He wants people to, like, just like United States प्राइमरी होती है, so that's his idea that he should bring that, ताकि वो सारा सिस्टम उससे बदल जाएगा। That's a system changing, game changing program which he's working on, which we are very happy about, and youth is excited in India about it.
So we'll come back to you. And Rakesh ji, talking about newness and Aam Aadmi Party. So if you keep on changing your stand, or you appear different than what you appeared yesterday, then in a political scenario that could probably be fatal. What do you think?
Yeah, I think consistency is important in politics and in governance. And we've been very consistent about our approach to governance. I don't think you will find any variation in our approach to governance. The core ideas of governance that we have given and we've talked about participatory governance. And we've stayed pretty much consistent to that message. We have seen participatory governance in Delhi, where the mandate to form the government was given by popular participation through a mandate. Likewise, participatory governance in areas like, for instance, selection of candidates that Shudh Prakash ji mentioned. We welcome this change in Congress. I think it's a very positive step that Congress and other major parties are also reforming. And this was an area that really needed a lot of reform, how you select your candidate. Our candidate selection process is very open. We have a website. Anybody can apply for a Lok Sabha ticket, and he would be considered on the merit of the work that person has done, the kind of...
No, I have to interrupt you because yes, what you are saying is sounding very good, and you are a good representative of Aam Aadmi Party, but there have been many news items wherein they didn't match with what you were just saying. I wouldn't go one by one case, but there were some potential MLAs who claimed that X number of rupees became the deciding factor. Or there's another lady who said that she was promised, but then finally, at the final stage, some other person was given the candidacy. So we don't really have time to get into all the details, but moving forward, I want both of you to respond to another area which has been very much in the news. तो शुद्ध जी, ऐसा कहा जाता रहा खास करके संभवतः भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तरफ से या कुछ चुनाव को विश्लेषणात्मक दृष्टि से देखने वाले लोगों द्वारा कि आम आदमी पार्टी जो है वो आई ही इसीलिए है ताकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार में ना आ सके या उनको मेजोरिटी नहीं मिले. सो दे सेड दैट दिस इज अ क्रिएशन ऑफ कांग्रेस. तो ये खबर इस तरह की या इसका अगर जो भी कहें, आपने भी ये सुना होगा. व्हाट इज योर रिएक्शन टू दिस?
I think some extremely creative mind must have created this absurd, ridiculous, I would call, idea that Congress created Aam Aadmi. If you look back, Aam Aadmi Party has protested mostly against the Congress Party and Congress Party rule. So it doesn't even make sense. And I think I personally, and I'm not talking on behalf of the party, I personally feel that coming of Mr. Kejriwal to the scene and bringing Aam Aadmi Party has been very, very beneficial to the Indian political system. Good for India, to have, more voices, new ideas.
I felt like laughing. The reason being, once he became chief minister, of course he's not the Delhi chief minister anymore, but he consistently said this in many of his interviews and speeches कि कांग्रेस ने हमको सपोर्ट तो दे दिया है, अब वो पछताएंगे, they'll regret that they have supported us. And probably he proved these words. Now over to you, the same kind of a thinking which connects the creation of Aam Aadmi Party and gives credit to Congress. Again, agenda being कि भाई बीजेपी को दूर रखो.
No, I don't think I would agree with Mr. Shud Prakash that I don't think there was any kind of agreement between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Aam Aadmi Party was opposed to some of the governance practices that Congress had practiced for over 50 years. So I think it's a far-fetched theory if there is such a theory. But on basically the question that you asked was the consistency part. I'd like to go back to that if it is okay with you. So on the consistency part, I think we have been very consistent with our message, and particularly you mentioned that there was some disgruntled elements on ticket allocation. And so you will find in every party that people would want to get a ticket. Our approach to contesting elections is very different. We are not here to gain power or to consolidate power. We want candidates who represent the party and who want to bring about change. And the change is in governance. So you will not find candidates with that traditional background of, oh, I have invested so much time in the party, I've invested so much money in the party, I've invested my family in the party, so I should get a ticket. We will not accept that kind of approach or ideology in the party. The ticket would be given based on what the candidate's background is, what kind of social work that person has done, and what kind of contribution he or she can make to better governance in the country.
No, what you are saying calls for a lot of questions, and I'm not going to go to all of them. But when you are saying the kind of qualifications that you are looking in the candidate, then how would that be Aam Aadmi? Because that is a very special Aadmi already. Then the very definition of Aam Aadmi is common man.
No, the Aam Aadmi is a very broad definition. Aam Aadmi does not merely mean a person below a particular income level or a BPL, below poverty level. That's not Aam Aadmi. Aam Aadmi is a very broad category. Aam Aadmi is someone who's facing the day-to-day problems that people under this kind of governance have been facing for decades. So Aam Aadmi is one who's basically risen above those problems and tried to set up a better promise of governance, either through basically his or her social work, community contribution, or through social activism.
नहीं, मैं उसी लिए कह रहा था, जो सोशल वर्क और जिस तरह के एक्टिविज्म की आप बात कह रहे हैं, वो मोर और लेस जो आम आदमी की इमेज रहती है, वो उसके सीमा से बाहर की बात है. बट अनदर इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट, एंड शुड जी, आई वुड also ask you to address this with your response. If you stand on one particular ground, Rakesh ji, claiming that this is the main foundation for our identity, which is corruption free, which is truthfulness, etc. when we say corruption free, then being truthful is kind of implied in some way. Would you agree? Okay. So now, Arvind Kejriwal, after having resigned, he said that people question our ability to govern, but one transcendental international, some company, they did a survey and said that in the 49 days of Delhi government of Aam Aadmi Party, Transparency International, the corruption level has gone down. So he said this himself, and there was another leader of Aam Aadmi Party who also claimed this. And later on, when reporters asked the chief of this company, they said no survey of this kind was made. So does that put a very big question mark?
Definitely. I think the Transparency International report, that was a breakdown of party communication, and they came back and admitted that there was a problem, that they basically did not communicate this very well. So Transparency International came back and later denied that they had made conducted any poll on increasing the level of transparency during the Kejriwal
decline.
Right, governance. So, but I think if you look at it objectively, even without a poll or survey, the fact remains that in Delhi today, if you go to any public office, if you go to your income tax office, you will see a change in the climate.
You
will see.
When on a public platform, you are claiming something, giving some statistics, which is found to be false, then I would find some way to save my face if I do that. I mean, I'm just thinking objectively, and especially, so let me have Shudji respond to, is it very normal for politicians to face these kind of awkward moments, or this is unique for Aam Aadmi Party?
I would say it's specifically for Aam Aadmi Party, it should be considered unique because they have been claiming nothing but pure truthfulness and true, honest and all that. So, but I must give I must say that these kind of, just like Bhai Sahab said, lack of communication, you can say, or break in the communication can happen. I wouldn't think that Mr. Kejriwal intentionally lied. I don't think so.
No, see, I find it very interesting, and I appreciate your approach also. But what happens is, the way Aam Aadmi Party is operating, Rakeshji, the day they announce that we are going to be a player in Lok Sabha elections, and our objective is, this is the list of the people who are corrupt. So the whole approach starts with a kind of negativity.
It's a very unconventional approach, and we have to agree and admit that it's an unconventional political approach, that you go and challenge the establishment, and as part of challenging the establishment, you say, well, these are the people we are fighting against. And the list has some prominent names, and some of them have been charged with corruption. Others basically have pending cases against them. So this is a list of people that the party is challenging. And you look at what the intent here is. The intent is that we stand against corruption. We stand against criminalization of politics. And we have proven in the Delhi elections that not a single candidate had criminal record.
Yeah,
that's the approach we want to stick with during the Lok Sabha elections.
So some of these leaders have said that they are going to file suits, and probably some of them have done also. But I was smiling slightly because in a different zone, I'm reminded of this couplet कि बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा न मिलिया कोई और जो मुख देखा अपना मुझसे बुरा न कोई. But that approach would not work in politics, and that's totally a different level of connecting with yourself. But there is a shock value, as Rakeshji said, that it's an unconventional approach, and there is some sort of a dramatic element to it also. So before we continue our conversation, there is a new movie which is going to be released soon. It's called Youngistan. And this drama also have politics as its backdrop. So let's take a look at this trailer, Shudji and Rakeshji, and we'll come back after enjoying this trailer.
हिंदुस्तान औसतन एक युवा और भावुक देश है। अब जमाना बदल रहा है। जरूरत है कि देश की सियासत, सोच और उसका ढंग भी बदले। मेरे बाद तुम्हारा नाम प्रपोज करेंगे तो नाम मत करना।
बहुत ध्यान से सुनो जो मैं कहने जा रहा हूँ। राष्ट्रपति भवन के अशोका हॉल में एक सेरेमनी ऑर्गेनाइज की जाएगी। इसमें I will be sworn by the Honorable President of India as the Prime Minister of this country.
Abhi, it's not funny.
सर, मेरे फेसबुक अकाउंट से मेरे फोटोज क्यों डिलीट हो रहे हैं? गर्लफ्रेंड पूछ रही थी।
सैलरी कितनी दे रहे हैं तुम्हें?
50,000
$50,000
rupees.
कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी।
Your right hand, sir.
This is my right hand.
I meant I am your right hand, sir.
Come on, man. I'm the Prime Minister of this country. बोलो क्या जी?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Come on, man.
I thought you were the Prime Minister of this country.
अगर ऐसा ही चलता रहा सरकार चलाना असंभव।
Laughing stock बनोगे तुम पूरे देश के लिए।
कि तुम एक जगह टिक के नहीं रह सकते।
और हाँ, तुम अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड भी खो दोगे।
28 साल के लड़के क्या करते हैं ये तो आप जानते ही हैं। और अब मैं जो करूंगा वो भी आप देखेंगे। युवाओं को दिए जाने वाले लोन्स पर अगर बैंक्स हॉलिडेज पर इंटरेस्ट चार्ज नहीं करते तो इससे जरूर लोकल एक्सचेकर को लॉस होगा। पर इससे जो युवाओं का कॉन्फिडेंस आप जीतेंगे उसका आप अंदाजा भी नहीं लगा सकते। अगर इसके चलते आपको लगता है कि मैं अपने कर्तव्य से चूका हूं तो मुझे वोट मत दीजिए, पर वोट जरूर दीजिए क्योंकि ये आपका हक है। जय हिंद।
पर वोट जरूर दीजिए। और ये बात सही है, जब चुनाव आते हैं तो ये भी एक उत्तरदायित्व प्रजातांत्रिक देश के सभी निवासियों का बन जाता है कि वो अपनी आवाज़ वहाँ तक पहुँचाएं जहाँ उसका असर बनता है। और आवाज़ में जो असर आता है उसके पीछे जो लोग हैं उनके क्रियाकलाप जो हैं वो भी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाते हैं। और कई बार एक दूसरे पर आरोप लगाते हुए ऐसा लगता है कि पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स करने वाले नेताओं के सामने पूरे भारत की जो तस्वीर है, the total development of the nation probably takes a back seat and they end up saving their party or their seats. In this context, where would you say Aam Aadmi Party stands and where would you say Congress stands? Starting with you. And let me add, Rakeshji, when I'm talking about the objective and approach to see the whole nation, many times Arvind Kejriwal kind of refused to answer certain questions which required a wholesome understanding. When one journalist was asking him about his views about relationship with Pakistan, or there were some other questions that involved a deep understanding of issues about nation, he was kind of holding himself back.
No, I think the first part of your question was, what is the end goal? The end goal, as my colleague here, Prakashji, also said, is that we want the outcome of all this political activity should be the improvement of the Aam Aadmi in India. We are all working towards the development of the country. Party politics takes a back seat, so I wholeheartedly agree with Prakashji here. Secondly, what you asked was that Mr. Kejriwal has not responded to certain questions. if you have recently watched Mr. Kejriwal's address to the Indian Industries Conference, I think it was in Mumbai, then he addressed questions in the economy, wide-ranging questions in the economy, and he clearly came out and said that there's a misperception that we are anti-business. That's not the case. We are very much pro-business. We are very much pro-capitalism, but we are against crony capitalism. We are against industrialists or capitalists who want to exploit the system to the extent that they basically do not follow any norms, do not follow any governance guidelines. So this case, in instance, was the gas price fixing case, where it's alleged that, it's not alleged, it is out there, that the Reliance Industries, in collusion with the government, they have raised the price of gas from $2 to $4, and then $4 to $8. That's what they're demanding. So this is a kind of windfall profit that these companies want, and there's no logic, there's no rationale behind this kind of a demand. So he says we're against this kind of unprincipled practice of business, but we are very much pro-business. We know that businesses will create the employment in this country. The government cannot create 10 million jobs that need to be created every year to employ young men that are coming out of college or that are basically ready to join the workforce. So I think he's responded to a wide range of issues. Economy is one of them, where if you watch this address to the Chamber of Industry, I think CIA, he has...
It was the same lecture where he had quoted the Transparency International about which we were just talking. But that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, he did touch some of the issues. But again, recently while addressing a group of Muslims, he said that communalism is the major problem that we are facing. And then he added communalism and corruption. Or maybe along with corruption, he equated communalism to be the big problem.
So communalism is definitely a big problem for the country. I mean, we've seen major riots, major problems in the country. There was the 1984 anti-Sikh riots in Delhi, and then there were problems in Gujarat during the Godhra riots. So communalism is a huge issue that we need to address. And what he said makes sense to a lot of people, that communalism, if you prosecute these cases and you bring them to conclusion within a reasonable time, not let them go on for 25 years, 30 years. Like, for instance, the cases against politicians who allegedly were involved in anti-Sikh riots, there was no conclusion to those cases.
I would have Shukji also respond to this as far as communalism is concerned. Initially, the major negative side of Bharatiya Janata Party by all other parties has been that they are communal. Everywhere there are attempts to keep them in one particular sort of bracket so that you stay there and others are secular players. So, and what about Congress' approach towards this issue, and as a whole, as an Indian, how do you feel?
Well, I feel that, of course, communalism has no place in any society. And India, being such a great nation, you know, it's been home of so many religions. I think every religion in the world is there. And I give actually credit, a lot of credit, to the majority population who has been very, I would say, accommodating and very accepting to minorities. I think there's very few examples in the world how India has come out. That's the home of the second largest Muslim population, and all our top film stars are Muslim. Our Rashtrapati has been Muslim, and Hindus, Sikhs, Muslims, Christians, they live like brothers, sisters. Of course, there are issues, and I think the communalism is mostly spread by so-called religious leaders and political leaders, and religious leaders who are actually not religious, because no religion teaches to hate each other or kill each other.
So
but I want to go back. I want to go back to your original question, where you started with कि अभी जो लोग political parties हैं, नेता हैं, जो एक दूसरे को आरोप लगाते हैं. माफ़ करना, मेरी हिंदी आपकी तरह इतनी अच्छी नहीं है लेकिन आपने ये बोला कि वो आरोप लगाते हैं और ये भी नहीं सोचते कि देश के लिए क्या अच्छा है क्या नहीं है, एक दूसरे के लगाते हैं. आई वॉन्ट टू ब्रिंग अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट हियर कि मिस्टर केजरीवाल पर सारी दुनिया ने, मेरे ख्याल कोई रीजनल पार्टी नहीं होगी, कोई नेशनल पार्टी नहीं होगी जिसने अटैक ना किया हो on his, qualifications or even character or whatever, except one leader of the biggest party, and that's Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Rahul Gandhi and actually is the only political leader in India who actually appreciated him and appreciated their party, their coming along. And he also said very candidly, I think it was very bold to say that we should learn from Aam Aadmi Party. So the point I'm trying to make is that, all these kind of statements and this kind of approach Rahul Gandhi has taken, it speaks volumes about his own character, his own personality, his own statesmanship, and his own being genuine, That's what I just wanted to tell you then.
So, in continuation with what you said, he today also mentioned that he is that who empowers people. So, let us say who empowers whom and what happens, but definitely there are new approaches visible in this election season in India, and we'll have a very new appearance waiting for you right after this break. And this appearance is of Narendra Modi, and you would not be able to recognize him if you don't tell him that this is him. Where was he? We'll find out after this break.